Well, hello everybody and welcome on Facebook Live and here on YouTube at my website, davidtree.com/live talk. Welcome to Virtual Abby every day at 12 noon, sometimes in the morning, sometimes late at night. Basically, whenever I have a chance every day, I am going to be streaming live these small, quick spiritual soul sessions. A daily dose of joy and of soul for your soul. Because I don't know about you guys, but I need perspective every second of the day. You know what I'm talking about? Sometimes we get bombarded by all kinds of negative stuff online. You know, we maybe go to the job and we just hear something negative. We get that email that isn't exactly what we expected. So that's why I want to do this. Be sure that on Facebook you subscribe. I think there's a button up here somewhere so that every time that I'm on live daily here on Virtual Abby, this virtual church for you, my spiritual but not religious friend, that you can then get this notification so that you don't miss these expression shots of spiritual soul. Today I want to talk to you about, my dear friends, about the fidelity of betrayal. The fidelity of leaving, the fidelity of change. Sometimes we need to be faithful to ourselves by actually leaving the past. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Have you ever been at a time, at a place, my dear friends, where you know it's time to move on? To move on from that relationship, from that place in your thinking, from that environment that you're in at work, maybe just the way that you do your life. And yet, you know that everything is on the line. That for you to leave what you know as safe and secure, whether it's in life, whether it's in love, whether it's in a career, it's going to cost you everything. You know what I'm talking about? But yet for you to be faithful to yourself and to that light that is in you, to that truth that drives you forward, you need to leave. And that's why I'm calling today's Virtual Abby the fidelity of leaving. Because, or you can call it the fidelity of betrayal, because leaving feels like betrayal, doesn't it? When Judas left all that he knew, when he left his truth, he betrayed his master to follow a lie. And in the same way, sometimes when we leave, it feels like we're following a lie. And yet, unlike Judas, when we leave faithfully, and when we are following that true light that is in us, that God put in us, that adventure, then even though it feels like betrayal, in fact, it's living by your truth. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? And yet the feeling is the same. You feel like you are betraying your family, your friends. You're betraying the very knowledge that you have. You're training. You might be trained in A, and you're leaving to go do C. It's not even B. It's not even C. Forget C. It's M or Z. You're going way to the other side of the boat. You're going way beyond even your own capacity. You're thinking, how am I going to do this, God? Where are you taking me? And yet inside of you, there is this trust that you know you have to leave. You know you have to keep moving because the universe and your life and everything inside of you is constantly moving. The universe is expanding every day, everyone. It is only our little brains that think that everything is static. What is stable in this life anymore? What can you look at that you can say, this is solid ground, except our faith and except that Spirit of God that is in us, moving us forward? Can you look at the politics of today? Can you look at the economy to find that stability? Can you look at even your own mind or your own family or friends? Can you look at your job? Can you look at your nonprofit? Can you look at your entrepreneurial pursuits and say, oh, this is going to last 50 years? That day, my friends, is gone. And yet, there's a fidelity in leaving that what we knew. I remember a time just recently when I was in a place that I was really comfortable, and yet, you know, that comfort begins to become discomfort when God begins to speak. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? You can lie to yourself, and I was lying to myself for a while. I thought, I think I'm okay. I need the money. I need this stability. I would wear my suit and tie. I even had a briefcase. I was going into my job feeling disoriented. At one level, I knew that this was what I had to do. You know, we have to provide. We have to live on this earth, right? Is your electric bill going down? No, it's going up every year. Gas prices are low right now, but what's going to happen in 2017? We have to think about that stuff. And yet, do we? I remember walking into the office with my nice suit and tie, and yet it all began to crumble. Slowly. It wasn't that my environment was crumbling. It was that my sense of stability, of what was really inside of me began to grow. Does anybody know what it's like when your soul begins to grow and yet your environment begins to shrink? It's often the same thing, right? Goes to family. You think something is changing in me, but yet everyone around you looks like they're still asleep. You look at your job, you look at everyone driving around you, everyone looks like there's zombies living life without the joy of life. Do you want to end your life with joy or with sadness, with regret? But you know what joy looks like? It looks like you're betraying your present. You know the story of Abraham, right? Abraham, an amazing example to all of us of trusting, of knowing, of a man who the Bible says was righteous because what? Because he believed. Because he believed, not because he had, not because he knew, but because he believed in the heavenly call and promise upon his life. But remember, that day wasn't easy for Abram. Abram, before he became Abraham, had to believe in the I will. I know we call God the great I am, but let me tell you why I'm calling him the I will. Remember in Genesis 12, it says there that God said to Abram, leave your country, your home, your father's house, leave everything that you know. And here it is. Because I will make you into a great nation. Because I will bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you. Because I will make your descendants as great as the stars in the sky. I don't know about you, but that's not very comforting to me. I know that we like to say that, yeah, man, I'm there. But have you ever left a job for the I will? For the maybe? For the let's see what happens? Do you know what that feels like? It feels like you're walking on eggshells. It feels like you are confused. But yet, what happens the minute you step on those rocks? What happened the minute that Abram believed God? He believed the I will. Of course, we know again that God is the great I am. But I right now, as I am in a place of transition myself, I am calling God the I will. Because I will bless you. And what did Abram do? Here's what I would have done. You know what? I'm not into I will. I'm into I have. I'm not into I will. I'm into I got. I got that money. I have that future. I have that house. I have that health. I have what I need right now. And not only right now, but I have it for the next 20 years, just in case it rains tomorrow. In case something goes wrong. That is our human nature. There's nothing wrong with that. God knows your need. Stop judging yourself because you want safety. And yet those moments come when you have to betray that safety. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? When you have to betray, you have to be, in order for you to be faithful, you have to leave what once was. And you have to trust in the I will. And so what did Abraham do? It says that he left. And he obeyed. Obedience is one of those 8-letter words. Who likes to be obedient anymore to something that we can't see? To something that doesn't pay the bills? To something that's just this great I am or this great I will? We like to be obedient to something that will give us something now in return. And yet, who are the people that are living lives with joy? Who are the people that feel true to themselves? Have you ever believed the great I will? And felt true, felt strong. And yet, have you ever not believed the great I will? And what does that feel like? I know what that's like. At that job where I had my suit and tie, I stayed too long and it began to fall apart. It began to just crumble around me. My energy, my sense of focus, my effectiveness as a leader just began to wane, because that's what happens. God, in his mercy, he will begin to make things messy for you because that's his faithfulness, that's his light. And so you and I have to believe in the I will. That in order for you to truly be faithful to your call, you're going to have to leave what you once knew in career, in education, in life, in love, in relationships, in your creative adventures. For you to find that true north, that guiding light, that sense of what is you, whether you are a younger person at midlife, whether you are a professional or a young adult. You're looking for that new house. You're looking for that new career. You're looking to that success that you know is in you, and yet you don't see it yet. You know what you need? You need to trust in the great I will. I will bless you. I will make you great. I will bring you into a new land. And that is the fidelity of leaving what we once knew. It doesn't feel like we're being faithful, right? In fact, it feels the opposite. It feels like we're being unfaithful. It almost feels wrong to leave what you knew. And sometimes God, in his mercy, he pushes us out. Have you ever been pushed out of the nest into the great I will? Oh man, that is normally how it happens, right, Ghost Nation? We normally get pushed, kicking and screaming, or we make those mistakes. Oh, we make those mistakes. Something that goes wrong. And then the great I am pushes us into his great I will, because he's merciful. If you are in those places, if you are in that moment where you're being pushed out of your comfort zone, know that God is gracious. Know that he's faithful. Know that he is good, and then he will not leave you nor forsake you. He says, come to me, all you who are weary. Maybe it's someone that you love that is going through that huge transition from health to sickness, from darkness to light, or maybe from light into darkness. They're going into a place of confusion financially in the way they think. Maybe it's a spiritual or theological transformation. Guys, there is a theological change that is happening all around us. And God has called many, those creatives, those empaths, those achievers, those who want to change the world, to be faithful by betraying what we knew. Are you ready to betray what you know as true? I know that word betrayal usually is a negative word. It feels like we're cheating or we're making a mistake. But as Peter Rollins wrote in his amazing book, The Fidelity of Betrayal, I love that phrase, because again, for us to be faithful to that call that is in our lives, sometimes we have to leave and cleave to something new. My hope is that this brief virtual Abby has been of help to you on Facebook, here on YouTube, and here on Periscope. I have all of you hopefully considering these things that are so important. I pray and I hope that you will listen to the great I will. I will be with you. I will not leave you. I will not forsake you. And that whatever change you're going through, that you will listen and that you will obey and that you will believe. And in that, find your true joy. Find your true adventure. Find that grace. Find what you love. Find what I like to call a life of gozo. Thank you so much for being here. I invite you to come back every day for Virtual Abby. We're here daily, 7 days a week, giving you a daily dose of gozo, focusing your life on what is true, a virtual church, because I don't know about you, I can't wait 7 days to go to church. I need God in my life 24/7. Invite your friends. If you're on Facebook Live, make sure you subscribe. I think there's a button up there somewhere. I have 4 or 5 viewers here. Here on YouTube, I have a few more. On Periscope, a few more. Let's get the word out so that we can together encourage each other. Thanks again. Thank you for being here. Remember that though there is pain in the night, gozo comes in the morning. Have a great rest of this day, and I will see you next time.